Tom Ford just released 2 brand new fragrances to add to their private collection. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on them and whether or not I think they're worth it, then just keep watching. Before we get into the video, I do want to quickly introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Aisha. I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So if you are new to my channel, then you may not know that I am a Tom Ford stan. I have a huge Tom Ford fragrance collection. I have shared that collection in previous years' videos, so I will definitely link those videos for you. But I'm saying all that because when I saw that these fragrances were coming out, I knew I was buying them. And I did blind buy these fragrances because I really just wanted to give you all my true thoughts on them. And sometimes if I smell a fragrance in the store, I really don't give it an opportunity, to be completely honest. If I have a bottle in my home, I am more likely to test it, wear it, and see what I really think about it instead of just going off first sniff. So I bought these for y'all, okay? I don't usually do that. I don't usually buy fragrances just to review, but because I was so interested in both of them, I figured I would charge this one to the game, okay? So I have both new fragrances to share with you all. So Cherry Smoke and Electric Cherry. I started seeing promo images for Cherry Smoke a few months ago, and I heard it was gonna come out before Christmas, but of course, Tommy said he was not coming out with these fragrances so y'all could get them on sale. So he waited until that New Year hit, sales were over, and then he dropped them. So unfortunately, I was not able to get these on a sale, but I really wanted them, so I bought them anyway. So first, let me share with you the packaging. So first up is Cherry Smoke, and it comes in like this black cherry looking color. And I bought mine in a 30 ml bottle. It does come in a 50 ml bottle as well, which looks the same. It's just a little bit taller than this. The next one is Electric Cherry, and this box is more of a fire engine red with a pink label. So here is what the bottle looks like. So you can see, although they are similar, they are definitely different in color. This one's much brighter, this one is deeper. Now let's go ahead and talk about how the fragrances smell, which I think is the most important. So to start this section out, we are going to start with the OG Lost Cherry. If you have not heard of Lost Cherry, I'm sure you don't watch any YouTube fragrance reviews and you don't look at any fragrance stuff on Instagram, because Lost Cherry is that girl. She is very popular. This fragrance is a juicy but boozy cherry scent. So when I spray this fragrance, initially I get like a burst of a juicy like cherry liqueur. As the fragrance dries down, some almond comes out, and I believe some tonka that gives it some depth. It gives it something to hold on to. So overall, the vibe that I get from this fragrance is like a dark, dripping, sensual cherry fragrance. For me, the cherry lasts the entire time, although as the fragrance wears, of course, those base notes start to come in and you get more of that depth. But to me, the cherry sticks around the entire time. I actually think this fragrance is relatively linear, and I love that about it because I love the way this fragrance smells. So this is one of my favorite scents in my entire collection. I have loved this for a long time, and I wanted to talk about this one first because I feel like when I talk about these other two, it'll just make more sense for the comparison. So that's Lost Cherry. So next, let's talk about Cherry Smoke. So this is the one that I knew without a doubt that I would be getting. This is the one I heard of first. This is the one that I knew was gonna be a blind buy no matter what, okay? So this one smells like that juicy cherry that you get from Lost Cherry, but combined with this like deeper, leathery, smoky woodiness going on. So this one to me is a darker, deeper take on Lost Cherry. When I think about this fragrance, I think about nighttime, I think about feeling sexy, I think about like leather jackets. This to me is a bold take on Lost Cherry. I do find that these fragrances are similar, but this is definitely a bolder take, a deeper take, a darker take. And I actually think that this one is more unisex than Lost Cherry. Lost Cherry is technically a unisex scent, but for me, when I smell Lost Cherry, I think it leans more feminine. This one I think sits right in the middle. Definitely not too masculine for me, but I could see a man who liked sweeter scents being able to rock this well. Now, because this one is deeper and darker, I think this is best suited for colder weather or nighttime. I actually wore this out during the day this week, and on that particular day it was about 80 degrees, and I felt like it was like a little bit too much. Not that it was super heavy, but I felt like it probably wasn't the best choice of fragrance for that day. But hey, I was testing it out, so it is what it is. Now, when it comes to Electric Cherry, when I first spray this fragrance, I get a very beautiful, bright cherry scent. Now, the cherry in this does smell like the same cherry in Lost Cherry, minus the alcohol, minus the deeper notes that you get in Lost Cherry. So this is like that brighter version of the same cherry mixed with some floral notes. I think of this as more of a floral fragrance, but the cherry is still quite prominent. Now, when this fragrance dries down, I do kind of lose some of that cherry, and I personally wish that cherry stuck around a little bit better. I mean, you could still smell it in the deep dry down. However, it's more of a floral scent in my opinion. And because of the way that this smells, I think springtime when I smell this fragrance, I think this would work better in warmer weather, not too hot, not like the dead heat of summer, but like a nice spring day, 70-degree type weather. I think this will work well for that type of weather. I also think that this one is probably more suited for daytime. When I smell this, I don't really think sexy. I think more like fun, flirty. So I would probably stick to wearing this out in the daytime, or if I was gonna be going to brunch or something like that. So for Projection and Longevity, I know a lot of you all have been waiting to hear about that because Lost Cherry does not get good points for Projection and Longevity. When I talk to a lot of you all about Lost Cherry, that is your biggest hang up with it. And I agree, this is not the longest lasting scent, but for me, it still works. I love the smell of this fragrance so much that I don't care that it lasts probably about 5 hours on me. It also sits closer to the skin. I'm okay with that. I think for this type of fragrance, that actually works. I think if it was too like beast mode, it would be nauseating because it is quite a sweet scent. Now for Cherry Smoke, I found similar longevity with this fragrance, but I would say maybe another hour added on to that. So probably about 6 hours of wear I was able to get on this on my skin. On my clothes, it did last longer, but again, this is not a very beastly scent. It definitely is a little bit more projecting than Lost Cherry, but not by much. It is not a very beastly scent. It does sit closer to the skin. Again, for the type of fragrance that it is, I'm okay with that, but I know a lot of you all, that will be a problem because this is so pricey. Now, when it comes to Electric Cherry, this one I have to say, it's quite disappointing when it comes to performance because I love the way this opens up, but once it dries down, and I'm talking like maybe an hour or 2 hours, it is a skin scent. It's a skin scent. Now, it lasts longer than that, but I felt like I needed to top this off after about 4 hours. So I don't know if I'm going nose blind to this. I did kind of ask my husband if he could smell it on me, and he couldn't, but his sense of smell is not that great, y'all. I haven't been around anybody else to ask about it, but as for me smelling it myself, it became a skin scent within the first 2 hours, and it kind of went away by like that 4 hour mark. So I definitely think that this one is lacking in that Projection Longevity department. And I think that Tom Ford, they should have really tried to find out a way to make this last longer because of all the critique of Lost Cherry. Like, this is lesser performing than Lost Cherry. Now, of course, it is a different type of scent. Again, this is a lighter scent, so you kind of expect that to a certain extent, but I did want to share that with you all because I know that is a deal breaker for a lot of you all. All right, so let's talk about if these fragrances are unique. I think Cherry Smoke is quite unique because it does have that cherry, and of course I kind of feel like it's a flanker of Lost Cherry. So when you compare these two, of course, you know, they are similar, but other than that, I feel like it's pretty unique. There are a lot of cherry fragrances out there, and a lot of them to me try to smell like Lost Cherry, let's just be honest, and they fall short. I have not found another cherry fragrance that I love more than this one as far as smell alone. So in that regards, I think Cherry Smoke is unique. And when it comes to Electric Cherry, I also think it's unique at the opening, but once it gets into the dry down and the cherry kind of fades, I don't feel like it's super unique in the dry down, but the opening is quite unique. So for comparisons, we already talked about the comparison to Lost Cherry, so we're not going to talk about that again, but I do have two other fragrances that I'm actually going to compare to Cherry Smoke. I don't have any fragrances to compare to Electric Cherry. Now, I know that's probably surprising since I said this one is not that unique in the dry down, and I stand by that. I don't think it's that unique in the dry down, but I don't have anything that I think smells exactly like it. To me, it just kind of smells like a generic floral with some cherry in the background. And yeah, that's that. So anyway, Cherry Smoke, I do have two to compare it to. So first up is Wet Cherry Liquor from Boho Boko. And I actually featured this fragrance in my cherry video that I did a couple months ago. I will link that for you all if you're interested. But this fragrance is a boozy cherry, but in a different way than Lost Cherry. This is a bright, boozy, kind of risque cherry. The liquor that's in this fragrance doesn't smell like the same liquor that's in Lost Cherry. Lost Cherry is more of a deep dripping cherry. This one is more of a bright, playful, but still sexy cherry. And the reason that I thought about comparing these two is because the dry down of Wet Cherry Liquor kind of has like a leathery vibe to it that is similar to the one in Cherry Smoke. Now, these are not the same because the cherries are different. This cherry in Cherry Smoke, like I said, is like the Lost Cherry cherry. So that juicy, like succulent, sexy, deep, boozy cherry, whereas this one is more of a brighter cherry. But in the dry down, they are similar, but the cherries are different. Hopefully that makes sense. The other fragrance that I wanted to compare Cherry Smoke to is Initio Side Effect. Now, Initio Side Effect does not have cherry in it. This is more of a boozy saffron scent that to me comes off a little bit leathery. It's quite sexy and spicy. And it kind of smells like the base of Cherry Smoke. I feel like if Lost Cherry and Initio Side Effect had a baby, it will be very similar to Cherry Smoke. So if you have these two fragrances and you don't want to spend Cherry Smoke money, I think that you could get a similar vibe from combining these two. Now, I wouldn't go out and buy these two because they're both quite expensive fragrances, but if you have them in your collection and you're looking for a reason not to buy Cherry Smoke, then combine these and see what you think about them. All right, let's talk about pricing. And I know this is sensitive for a lot of you all. I will say that, you know, I am a Tom Ford stan, so I'm familiar with the pricing, but they just raised the prices, y'all. Like they had the nerve to raise the prices on us. So yeah, these little tiny 30 ml bottles of these two fragrances retail for $240 each. The 50 ml bottles retail for $390 each. So bottom line, what do I think of these fragrances? So first up, Cherry Smoke. I love this one. This is an absolute love for me. I love the juiciness and the fullness of that cherry mixed with the deepness, the darkness, the smokiness. This is absolutely not a regret. Do I wish it was priced lower? Yes, I do. But I kind of expected the pricing. So I went in there knowing what I was going to be paying. So it wasn't like big sticker shock, and I am happy to have this. As for Electric Cherry, I love the opening of this fragrance, but after that, I don't think it's that special, to be completely honest. I will keep it in my collection. I do enjoy it, but this is one that I will have to carry in my bag. So I guess it's a good thing I got this tiny bottle, because this is one I'm going to have to like re-up, respray. I'm hoping that as the fragrance sits a while that it will become a little bit more powerful, which does happen sometimes, or a little bit more long lasting, but this is one that I will have to like spray all over my clothes and all that. And I do enjoy the scent of it. I really love the scent, which is the only redeeming factor because the performance of this is absolute trash. Do I think these fragrances are worth it for you all? It depends. We all have a different ideal of what's worth it. So for a collector like myself, I am a Tom Ford collector. I will go ahead and admit to that. If I have like 19 or 20 of his fragrances. So I'm a little bit different than the average population. So if you are a person like me who loves Tom Ford, you love to collect fragrances, I think Cherry Smoke is worth it. I do not think Electric Cherry is worth it. If you are not like me and you're just a regular fragrance enthusiast or a person looking to buy this fragrance and you just want to smell good, definitely don't think Electric Cherry is worth it. But Cherry Smoke, I don't know. You need to go smell it. You need to go test it on your skin, see how it works for you. Like I said, for me, it's worth it. But some of you all want fragrances that last 10, 12 hours. This ain't it, okay? This is not it. I don't want you to be disappointed blind buying this. You definitely need to go smell this, try it on your skin, wear it. See if you can get a sample that you can wear for a few days to test out. If you are a Tom Ford lover and you don't mind dropping this kind of money on a fragrance and you love Lost Cherry, I think it's a safe buy for you. I don't think that anybody who loves Lost Cherry is gonna hate this one. So if I rank these 3 fragrances, including Lost Cherry, I would still say that Lost Cherry is my favorite out of the trio. Lost Cherry is my favorite. It's that girl. I still love the scent of this over these 2 new ones. However, I do love Cherry Smoke as well. So this one's number 1, this is number 2, and y'all know Electric Cherry, she alright, but she ain't all that. But I will keep her around. I'm gonna play with her some more. My thoughts may change. Again, I love the opening of Electric Cherry. I just wish it stuck around more for me and it smelled like the opening the entire way through. I wish the florals didn't come out so much in the dry down for me. So if you've tried either one of these fragrances, let us know what you think of them in the comments down below. Did you purchase these? Did you blind buy them? Do you plan on going to get your nose on them? Let us know that in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I typically upload videos 3 times a week, so definitely make sure you have your notification bells on so that you don't miss a video from me. Also, if you're not already following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me over there. I do give you guys sneak peeks of fragrances when I get them, like these. So definitely check me out on Instagram and give me a follow. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.